Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and this is our final week of our show, coming to you from this unique location of Spring Ledge Farm, right here in the heart of New London. Today, we are back here and we'll again visit Greg Berger and hear about what's fresh and still coming this growing season. Miriam Carter will tell us about the New Hampshire League of Craftsmen and their upcoming fair. Bruce McCloy will give us a wrap on the World Sonar Sailing Championship held a couple weeks ago on Lake Sunapee. And we'll close with Pam Byrk and Cheryl Fogwell with a preview of the Newbury Old Home Day and concerts on the harbor. Don't go away because you won't want to miss this week's edition of the Yankee Chronicle.
We are strong and we'll get through this together, but these are stressful times. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, and know that you are not alone. Visit wearebroadcasters.com/hope, furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, coming to you from one of our favorite locations, Spring Ledge Farm, here right on Main Street in New London. And I'm now joined by Greg Berger, one of our favorite people to talk to. Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
It's always fun to come and see what's new here and also kind of the same. But the most important thing to talk about right now is it is strawberry picking season.
Yes, exactly.
Tell us all there is to know for someone watching who's saying that's a good activity to go do with kids, anybody really, all ages, right?
Yes,
how does it work here at Spring Ledge Farm?
So at Spring Ledge, we have two ways you can get your strawberries. You can get them here at the farm stand.
Okay, you'll pick them for us.
Yeah, we'll pick them for you in quarts, and we heap the quarts way up. So one time we actually measured a supermarket quart and one of our quarts, and it was almost half again as much in our quarts because we just top them off. So it's a
and then you put that netting over it too to keep it.
Yes, to keep you from picking them all and to keep them from falling
while you're
out.
driving home.
So yeah, we try to have quarts up here at the farm stand, and then we also have pick your own. And that's at a field a couple miles away down the hill at Pleasant Lake.
Yep.
And all those directions and instructions and prices and all that good stuff is on our website.
Great.
So you can find it all there, as well as when we're open, because depending on the weather, it's nature, right?
Yes.
So depending on the weather, if it's really a bad day, we might be closed that day. So please check before you head out to the fields, check our website and see what the status is. But it's pick your own strawberries is great for anybody, the whole family, whether you're there to really pack your freezer or to get the kids out of the house and have them run around and stuff their faces.
A good activity.
That kind of
and endless strawberries too. I always drive by and think, wow, you just never run out. There are a lot of strawberries to be picked.
Yes, yeah, we have a couple acres of strawberries, so that's a lot, yeah.
And what does perfect strawberry take weather-wise? What does Mother Nature need to provide?
Well, it's one of these crops, obviously it's in the ground, it's a perennial crop, so it's there 52 weeks of the year, and we really kind of only think about it for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
But to get a nice red berry that's sweet, you want some rain in the evening or at night. Half an inch every other day, every 3 days.
Yep.
and then sunshine is what develops the sugars the most.
So during the day, they want beautiful sunshine.
Nice sunshine is great for them. It keeps them nice and clean, and the sugars developing and the flavor and all that.
And is there a scientific backing to something being really juicy and red and sweet versus one not being so juicy and red and sweet?
It has to do with the variety.
Okay.
So we grow about 5 different varieties.
Oh, interesting. Who knew?
Yeah, because we have some that start really early.
Okay.
And then some that are much later into mid-July. So and that spreads out the season for us.
And the other thing to check on your website too is when the season may end. That's another thing. You can't say on this day is the end.
We don't know. We hope it goes for a long time.
For a long time,
depending, sometimes the berries are beautiful and red and ripe and softer.
Okay.
And then we get one of those major thunderstorms, and that kind of puts it in. But hopefully this year it's just some nice gentle rain.
Okay, that's what we'll ask Mother Nature
Yes.
for. And the other thing that you taught me right before we got on air was that there's actually a second season, not a pick your own, but there's a later strawberry season, and you'll have those here for people to purchase.
Yes, we will. That starts in, I don't know, mid-August, or sometimes a little earlier, again, depending on Mother Nature.
Yep.
But those are called day-neutral strawberries,
Oh.
which means that they'll bloom continuously all season. Not as much as the June-bearing strawberries, which we're picking right now.
Okay.
But the June-bearing strawberries bloom, and then that's it. And so obviously the blooms run and make a fruit. And so if it blooms continuously, you always have fruit. And
Got
if
it.
it blooms all at once, you have a ton of fruit at one time, and then you're done.
So that's how for basically 2 to 3 months you can offer local fresh strawberries,
Yes.
because there's kind of a 2 cycle here.
Yes, exactly. It's in a different field, and we go out and pick them every day.
Wow.
And so we'll have quarts and pints of strawberries, usually from August all the way into November sometimes, if the frost
Amazing.
holds off. Yeah,
And plenty of
they're
things you can make
delicious,
with them.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yep, exactly.
For all the
So-
different holidays coming up. Crazy to think about, but we are going to talk about in our next segment about corn, because everybody does love corn, but it's just crazy to think that it's corn season. It's ready to go. So when we come back with you, we'll talk about corn, which will be really exciting to talk about. And I'm a big corn fan, so I think it's important to touch upon. And I always think it's interesting what makes the perfect corn. You know, people add things to it, or just some butter, you know, you never know.
Just raw.
Or I don't know if I've ever had just the sweetness of a corn.
That's how we try it out in the fields. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Greg Berger, thank you for hosting us. We always love being here.
All right, thanks for being here.
When we return, Miriam Carter will tell us about the history of the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen. But first, these words from some of the good local businesses that keep our show coming to you.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation. Hospitals and patients are counting on donors to get the blood they need. Make a life-saving appointment today. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Can I go to the sleepover?
I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel. For the 89th time, the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen will host their fair. Let's hear more about this organization and its history. Hi, Miriam.
Thanks, Abby. So the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen is a 90-year-old New Hampshire organization. We're going to have our 89th fair this year, but we're a very important organization in the state because our roots are here. We were born out of the Depression, so while we were going through the pandemic, it's one of those things that I remembered and called on to understand that we had the resiliency and the creativity to just make it through a hard time, and we've done that. I'm grateful to our members and also the people who support us, all of the people who come to the fair, all the people who support our galleries throughout the state. Our mission is to advance, cultivate, and champion excellence in fine craft. So everything we do is all craft, and it's all about the makers, and that's best seen at the annual Craftsman's Fair here at Mount Sunapee Resort every August. We're always the first Saturday in August. It's a good thing to remember. This year we're running a little bit late because the Saturday is on the 6th. So this year the fair will be running to August 6th through the 14th. We bring in the work of over 350 artists who are all juried members of this organization. But this year there's a little bit of an exception, as there has been in past years. We do have an invited guest program where we invite craftspeople who are equivalent in skill set in their mastery of a certain craft, but one that maybe we don't to have very much representation in it. So we want a broad view of craft. We want to share the world of craft with all the people who come to see it. We have lots of demonstrations. We want to show people what kind of joy you can discover in making a handmade object. So you'll have the opportunity to work with clay, watch glass blowers, metalsmiths, and you mostly have the opportunity to talk to the makers of the beautiful work in their booths. One of the best parts of coming to a craft fair is actually to meet the maker, talk with them, and then when you purchase a piece, you have the memory of that conversation. I have a theory that a cup of coffee made or produced in a handmade cup tastes much better than one from Walmart or some other place. I love thinking of the people who made the cup and the conversation we had when I purchased that cup. The League of New Hampshire Craftsmen has over 600 juried members throughout the state of New Hampshire, as well as into the borders of Maine, Vermont, and Massachusetts. So today is a special day because we're going to introduce you to one of our members and the very special work that they do.
Welcome to Tannery Pond Forge in Wilmot, New Hampshire. My name is Zach Jonas. I am a bladesmith and I make custom handmade knives in all shapes and sizes. My most exciting knives are made from Damascus or pattern welded steel, which is made by layering two types of steel together and forging them to produce dramatic and dynamic patterns. As the hammer pounds the metal, the bundle fuses together. What was once 15 separate layers is now a solid block of steel. Some Damascus patterns are simpler than others. Here you can see that I've taken the original bundle of 15 layers and folded it up to 30 layers. The result will be a broad, dramatic, eye-catching pattern. I use a hammer to shape the blade against the anvil, just as blacksmiths have done for centuries before me. Once I've forged the blade to shape, it's time to refine the form. In order to perform the work of a knife, the steel needs to be hardened. I'll heat the blade to almost 1500 degrees, again watching the color, and then thrust it into the quenching oil. When it comes out, the blade will be extremely hard. I'll have to temper the steel over several hours to draw some of that hardness back. This is one of the most exciting stages of the work. Now I get to experience and refine the way the finished knife will actually come to hand. Each knife that leaves my shop has been made by the hand, for the hand, to the very highest of standards. The work is custom from start to finish, and I respond and adapt to each individual part, each unique piece of material, in order to produce heirloom quality works of functional art.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope that you take advantage of learning more about the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen. Come to our fair in August at Mount Sunapee Resort, visit our fine craft galleries, or go to our website, nhcrafts.org. You can learn all about us, become a member, become a supporting member. We look forward to having you join us.
Thank you, Miriam. Mark your calendars to help them celebrate another edition of their classic event. At the foot of Mount Sunapee is our beloved local Lake Sunapee. Just a couple weeks ago, it hosted the World Sonar Sailing Championship. Bruce McCloy will give us a review. But first, let's celebrate another supporter of your Yankee Chronicle.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and backup generators. Their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel. For 4 days in June, world-class sailing took place on our Lake Sunapee. Tell us about it, Bruce.
Well, I was here 10 months ago with YCN, and the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet had just received the bid to hold the 2022 Sonar World Sailing Championships on Lake Sunapee. We weren't at that point quite sure how we were going to pay for it or how we were going to pull it off. But over the course of the winter, we have 40 to 50 skippers and crew in our club, and we went to work. And the first thing I'd like to do is thank the over 40 businesses and individuals who came on as sponsors for our event. Without them, we could not have done this. The support from the community was tremendous. I also like to thank the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club. While the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet presented this race, the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club agreed to host the event. So all the boats were launched at the Yacht Club, and that was their headquarters for the 4 days of racing. There were banquets and parties and things going on in the evening, and the Yacht Club did a terrific job with all that. So we attracted 22 Sonars, which is a 23-foot racing class sailboat from across North America to come to Little Lake Sunapee. And they came from as far away as Minnesota, Florida, and Nova Scotia. So we were thrilled to have a big turnout for the race. And we had 4 boats racing from the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet, including Resonance, skippered by Brian Doyle, who actually came in 3rd overall in the whole regatta. He was only 1 point out of 2nd place. So congratulations to Brian on some terrific sailing. We tried to up the bar a little bit from some of the other regattas that were held by the Sonar Association. So the first thing we did is we went to Sunapee Cruises and said, hey, we'd like to have a big spectator boat out on the lake so people can go out and watch the racing, which is really exciting and beautiful with the spinnakers and the whole scene. So they were very cooperative, and we had the MV Mount Sunapee 2 went out each day at 9:30 in the morning till 12:30. So on the spectator boat, we made sure that some of our sponsors could get complimentary tickets to go out and watch the racing for being a sponsor. And we also produced large banners and had the banners displayed on the spectator boat and 2 other pontoon boats that were out on the lake helping run the race. So we gave them some really good exposure out on the lake during the whole event. And we also partnered with YCN, and we produced a 15-minute highlight video each day that ran at 10 o'clock that night with highlights from some of the races during the day, so that the skippers and the crew, after racing was over and they came back to the yacht club and they had some dinner and a few beers, they could watch the racing on TV, or it was also streaming on YCM, and they really loved that. We really tried to raise the bar for the event as far as the way it was operated, and make it very spectator friendly and make it fun with having this videos that we produced. And we used a drone for some of the footage, which was absolutely spectacular. So the 4-day event was a huge success, and I have a few quotes here from some of the skippers about their experience here at Lake Sunapee. So Bob Lawrence was the skipper of Nefarious from the Noroton Yacht Club in Connecticut, and they came in 1st place. And he said sailing on Lake Sunapee was a joy, with brisk winds, which we certainly had every day, and challenging wind shifts that kept us all on our toes. Andreas Josenhans, who's the skipper of Ping, which was our 2nd place overall finishing boat, said, as a blue water sailor, now blue water means he usually races in the ocean, it's nice to see how challenging lake sailing can be. I have new respect for all those who sail regularly on lakes, especially on Lake Sunapee. And Don Shumway, who's the president of the International Sonar Association, who was also skipper of one of the boats, said that the 5 teams that came from Rochester, New York, loved sailing on Lake Sunapee. The venue, the club, and fierce competition were memorable. So it was just a terrific 4 days of racing. A credit to our whole community for supporting the event, and the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club for hosting the event, and to all the members of the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet who really put in a lot of time and effort to pull this off. One interesting thing that happened at the end of the race, I found out, is that the sonar was designed back in 1980 by a naval architect named Bruce Kirby. And Bruce Kirby was a member of the Norotan Yacht Club in Connecticut at that time. So after the race, Bob Lawrence, who was the skipper of Nefarious, who won the overall title, and is also from the Norotan Yacht Club, said that he was so happy and honored that he could win this overall trophy and take it back to the Norotan Yacht Club, because Bruce Kirby evidently has passed away just recently. And he thought it would be a tremendous tribute to Bruce to bring this beautiful, huge trophy that they had over for the Yacht Club. Will go back to the Norotan Yacht Club for a year, and they can make a tribute to Bruce Kirby, who actually designed the sonar.
Wow, what an amazing week of sailing. Thanks to Bruce and all of the folks that made this event so special. When your Yankee Chronicle returns, we'll close with a preview of the Newbury Old Home Day and concert series on the harbor. So please stay with us.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner. For books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel. Every year, towns all across New Hampshire celebrate their communities with Old Home Day festivities. One of our local communities has one coming up this weekend. Tell us more, ladies.
Okay, so this summer, our biggest event is the Newbury Old Home Day, which is July 9th. And it's an all-day event. It's fun all day, free, except like the food trucks and the vendors at the craft fair. But otherwise, all the activities are free. We have 2 concerts this year right here in the harbor. We have Studio 2 playing at 1 o'clock, and that's the Beatles group. And then our big concert is at night at 7:30, and it's Money Cat. It's rock, country, R&B, dance, so that will be awesome. And then we also have a couple shows down here. Flying Hawaiian and Pogo Fred will be here before the concert. And then at the town office, we have a couple other shows, Kilted Colin, the Red Trousers. We have our committees from town. We'll be having tables. We have a comedian magician at the Vets Hall. And some other, we'll be selling t-shirts for Old Home Day and hats and a tie-dye table. And that's a lot that's going on that day.
And don't forget, first thing in the morning, the fire department is offering coffee and breakfast sandwiches and hopefully demonstrations throughout the day. And also they're going to have a health fair. I don't know how big it's going to be. Then that takes us into the food vendors. They're going to be in multiple locations in the town, and they'll be bright and shiny and all kinds of food, from Asian, Mexican. The local church is going to do strawberry shortcake. Yep. That's a good thing. Our local people are going to supply us with barbecue, and we're going to have pulled pork, and then we're going to do chicken fingers and loaded fries. And there's so much to offer.
Snow cones or whatever.
Snow cones. I'm working on a pizza truck still. I'm still working on the ice cream novelty truck. So nobody should go hungry. Last year, everybody was raving about the food and booming. The business was booming. If we have another good year, that will be awesome.
Yep, it will be.
All. Now we're going to start the farmers market at 10 o'clock. It goes from 10 to 4. The vendors will be in front of the town hall. We offer a variety of vendors from maple syrup products to home baked goods. Aurora Bakery will also be. They're going to be in the back though. We're also going to have people that have jarred items, woodworking, jewelry, vinyl, candles. Wow, I probably forgot somebody, but there's a lot to offer. And again, everybody was overwhelmed with the support last year.
Right.
So if you can come support us, it's a community event.
Yep.
This is what, 17 years?
I think so, about that.
Let's say 17 years.
Sure, we'll go with that.
And we've been involved with it, at least I have, from the beginning, and I enjoy it every year. So let's come down, support us, enjoy.
July 9th. And don't forget, at dusk, the biggest and best fireworks on Lake Sunapee.
Correct.
Okay, and also besides July 9th, we have our summer concert series, which is all Thursday nights, okay, at 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And the concerts are from June 30th all the way to August 18th. So there's tons of concerts this year, Thursday nights right here in the harbor.
Lots of supporters, Pam, is that correct?
And besides donations from a lot of residents and a lot of business in the whole area, we have 2 gold sponsors this year, which is Mount Sunapee and La Valleys. And they support the summer programs for the rec, the concerts, Old Home Day, the fireworks. So we would just want to thank them and all our silver sponsors and bronze sponsors and all the residents who donated.
It makes this event very, very welcoming to everybody.
So also remember, July 9th, Newbury Old Home Day, right here in the center of Newbury. You could come down around 9:30 to get breakfast at the fire station, and then it runs all day until 10 at night.
And I also want to mention that we are looking for 4 to 5 more vendors. If you're interested, go to the website, I would say.
Yep.
You can call me directly. My number should be on the website, or my email, whatever works for you. So come and join us. We'd love to have you.
We'll put it on the website, so it's newburynh.org, and we'll get information up on there. If not, you can look on the Facebook page, Newbury Old Home Day, or any of the town pages on Facebook. They share everything.
Thank you, Pam and Cheryl, and you don't have to be from Newbury to come and enjoy. Do I need to remind you about the fireworks? Speaking of fireworks, next week, Yankee Chronicle will be presented by the Refinery Restaurant in Andover. The Refinery is known for its BBQ. We'll learn why it's the best. This week, YCN Sports will feature the 2022 Boys Basketball Championship between number 3 Kearsarge and number 6 Monadnock. All our games replay at 12 noon and 7 p.m. on Sundays and Mondays on NCTV and can be viewed anytime on demand at ycnnow.com. I'm Abby Peel. Join us next week at this same time for another Yankee Chronicle presented by the Refinery Restaurant in Andover. Stay safe, everyone.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and backup generators. Their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge-Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire, the Innertown Record.